What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Let us have this discussion. Y'all come on in. What's up, T? Y'all come on in. We're gonna get in one more minute and we're gonna get started. How about that? I know it's Christmas, everybody with their families. I'm gonna go and put this out here though. Alright, how about we get started? We're gonna put this on up out here real quick. Now, you got what we like to call Christmas or Christ Mass. Well, let me first tell you what a holiday is. How about we start with the basics? Holiday. What is a holiday? Holidays are known as holy days. Now, hell comes from the Greek word Hades, or also the Norse Irish hell. It comes from Helheim. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's funny, in Greek mythology, Hades is hot. But in the Vikings culture who inspired Norse mythology, you know, the Celts and all of them, the Vikings viewed hell as cold, which is actually a little truer than Hades. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a little truer because Helheim deals directly with your unconscious mind. You see what I'm saying? And Helheim in Norse mythology is ruled over by the goddess Hel, who is, anytime you see these underworld goddesses and gods, and or snow gods and goddesses, and usually you're dealing with the unconscious and subconscious minds. You see what I'm saying? Usually, or water deities, fish deities, and stuff like that. They're dealing with the subconscious. You see what I'm saying? They're dealing with the raw primal forces of your subconscious and unconscious mind. Now, Helheim, or what inspired the word holidays or holidays, was produced to show you the unconscious forces of your mind, how primal, how vicious. And they said once you get trapped in Helheim, you get locked down there. You can get trapped down there. You see, so they always tell you, like, you go to Hades, you go to hell, you liable to get locked in Hades and hell, which is true. You liable to get locked in your unconscious mind, cause now you trapped in your lower self, your lower primal forces. This is what they telling you. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So when you go to when you get locked down, you see it, and it's funny. You know, you're dealing with this hell energy when you're dealing with these holidays. So you're supposed to be going within yourself and traveling into your unconscious mind, meditating on these holidays, right? Those are the most important days to meditate, because that's when the energy is the strongest. Now, each holiday has a specific energy to it. You see what I'm saying? So when we're dealing with hell or Helheim, it's funny. It's funny. It's funny, when you're dealing with this Helheim energy, you're dealing with these different beings in hell. One of the most interesting beings is Roosevelt, the corpse eater. And it's funny, he turns into an eagle. The same eagle which is on the back of the American dollar. Now, I find it interesting that he turns to an eagle in fucking Norse mythology in Helheim, and one of the most prominent symbols of America, or United States Corporation as we know it today, is an eagle. So literally, that's Roosevelt, the corpse eater, on the back of the U.S. dollar. And he holds in his hand what? Fig leaves, which represents peace, and arrows, which represents war. But peace and war are one and the same. They're two sides of the same coin. Peace is just you taking a break from war, and war is just you taking a break from peace. But they showing us here that the corpse eater, they feeding off your energy. You know, what do corpse eaters do? They feed off corpses, or they feeding off the bile energy, you know, archonic energy. You see what I'm saying? So they tell you who Roosevelt is. He's Yaldabaoth, the archonic energy. And his mother is who? Hell. You see what I'm saying? Hell, or the forces of unconsciousness. That's who she represents. And she's the daughter of who? Loki, the frost giant. You see what I'm saying? And he represents the calcification, the freezing of your consciousness or your pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here when we get the word holidays. So you go within yourself and deal with this hellenistic energy, this Hellenistic energy inside of you. So you can transmute it into Christos, which is what brings us to Christmas or Christ Mass. Now, Christ is nothing but the solar energies, the enlightenment of your consciousness and soul. You see what I'm saying? So we mass means mass influx of Christ energies or solar energies. Why y'all think it's always hot during Christmas? Have y'all ever noticed that? Even though they manipulating the weather and shit, they can never make it cold during Christmas, because it's the return of your solar energy. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Now you got two aspects to Christmas. You got Krampus, and then you got the Christos. You see what I'm saying? Now Krampus, who is Krampus? I'm quite sure y'all never even seen that motherfucker before. Most of y'all. I'm about to show him to you right now. This is Krampus. You see what I'm saying? This is Krampus. What's up, Diana? Right here. Who is an aspect of the Baphomet, but is Baphomet transmuted into a horrific form? Why is the Baphomet transmuted into a horrific form? Krampus represents the corruption of your childlike energy. That's why in the storyline, he always chasing the kids. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Another variation on Krampus. Who else is Krampus? Freddy Krueger. You see what I'm saying? Also another version of Krampus. Always chasing the kids. Always chasing the young ones. Because they running from the corruption of their childlike innocence. And when they don't deal with their childlike innocence, what happens? They get consumed by it. You see what I'm saying? They don't work on healing that corruption. It devours them. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. So Krampus rules at its strongest. the strongest of his energy is ruled between December 19th and December 24th, which is the winter solstice. What is winter? Winter just means to win her soul. You see what I'm saying? Or the strongest time of your melanin. You see what I'm saying? The darkest, your melanin is at its most potent between the December 19th and December 24th. You see what I'm saying? So you in the darkness, and your melanin is traveling through your darkness. You see what I'm saying? Learning new things, because the more you go into the darkness, the more you get exposed to new things, the unknown. You see what I'm saying? So you leveling up down there. You get stronger. You get more aware. And after you get through that journey of the hero, in your darkness, then you transmute it into light, because the more you go through your darkness and become aware of it, the more you bring light or consciousness to it. You see, just becoming aware of it is the light. You see what I'm saying? Is the consciousness. You enlighten those aspects, those dark aspects of yourself. And so Krampus transmutes into the Christos. You see what I'm saying? The enlightened child, the unblemished child, the child who has went through the alchemical processes to win back its magical innocence. Because innocence is nothing but your magical energy. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That was stolen from you as a child through, trauma, blockages, being told you can't do this, being told you can't do that, being told this don't work and this don't exist. That's what Krampus embodies. He come to horrify you, scare you, because hey, this is what they did to us. You see what I'm saying? Let you know, this is what they did to your energy, your magic. They horrified me. You see what I'm saying? They horrified us, because Krampus is you. You see what I'm saying? So you need to come in here and deal with this energy, so we can heal, so we can ascend back to our Christ-like self, our advanced true self. You see what I'm saying? The unblemished soul. See what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. Your corrupted magic, your corrupted innocence, because that's what magic is, innocence. Because the more innocent you are in your magic, the stronger it is. That's what they don't tell you. That's why kids are the most magical, because they still innocent in their magic. They just practice magic. And what do we mean by innocence? You just practice it with purity of heart or wholeheartedness. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's what it means to be innocent in magic. Well, Krampus represents the corruption of that magic. Now you practice magic to get something out of it, to use it for a certain purpose. You don't practice magic to become one with it. You see what I'm saying? You practice it to make your manifestations happen. You practice it to do this. You practice it to do that, which is all fine and all. You're supposed to do that. But before you do that, you're supposed to practice magic just for the love of magic. You see what I'm saying? Just for the love of it, just because you enjoy it. So you can become who? The Christ-like one. And who is the Christ? Who is the Christ? The Christ is who? Heru. You see what I'm saying? Heru. That's the Christ right there. That's what you try to become. What? He got the sun. He holding the sun, the soul. And what? There go a serpent, Kundalini. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. And then he got the scepter in his hand, the spine. So that's what Christmas is about. You're supposed to be in your meditations, meditating, getting in tune with your childlike self, dealing with your inner Krampuses, your corrupted energies. You see what I'm saying? Healing them, transmuting them, and so you can become so you can ascend into and become the Christ-like soul, the unblemished child. You see what I'm saying? The Heru. So that's what's going on with this Christ mass. But for the planet, Christmas represents the resurrection of her soul energies. That's why it's always hot during Christmas. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's always hot, 72 degrees down here. Well, I'm in Bama. You see what I'm saying? 72 degrees. Yesterday it was fucking 40. You see what I'm saying? It was 40 degrees. It shot up 30 degrees because they cannot block the Christos energy. So what they do is, what's up, Rob? What they do is, instead of trying to block it, they let it happen, and they go and do their own rituals and feed off the energy. You see what I'm saying? Feed off you. See what I'm saying? That's what these arcana motherfuckers do. So this is what you're seeing. This is the Christos. Excuse me, y'all. This is the Christos. You see what I'm saying? That's what it means. Now, of course, we dealing with Christmas, so we gotta talk about Saint Nick. You see what I'm saying? Now, who is Saint Nick? This is Saint Nick. See what I'm saying? Saint Nicholas. This is what he originally looked like. You see what I'm saying? Saint Nicholas was he was a beloved figure because he was a very wealthy man in his time. He actually lived, by the way. He actually was a real person. He was a Moor who lived in this time, and he had such a good heart that he would sacrifice a lot of his wealth to just buy gifts for kids and help kids. And I think he opened up different homes for kids. You see what I'm saying? Different orphanages for kids and stuff like that. And so, since he loved the kids so much, they mythologized him. They mythologized him as Saint Nicholas, but they made him a white man. You see what I'm saying? Now they try to make Santa Claus black again. You see what I'm saying? But Santa is actually Satan. You see what I'm saying? Scrambled. You see what I'm saying? And clause, or Satan's contract, because a clause is simply a contract. You see what I'm saying? It's usually stanzas in the contract. That's what clauses are. You see what I'm saying? So it's an agreement that you're supposed to worship Satan, but Satan is nothing but your internal monstrous forces. That's all Satan is. Your monstrous forces. Satan is hell. You see what I'm saying? Satan is hell. Your monstrous forces. They also need to be brought up within you and ascended. So Saint Nick, or Santa Claus, comes to bring you gifts. You see what I'm saying? What are these gifts? The gifts of your monstrous forces. He always riding reindeer, which are, the reindeers, the cousins of the Baphomet. You see what I'm saying? The American, I always told y'all that the goat, there are not really many goats in America, so we use reindeer, because reindeers and mooses are cousins of the goat. You see what I'm saying? So it's still Baphomet energy. And they always give you one. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, and he had a red nose, which is the root chakra. You see what I'm saying? The root chakra. And he led all the others because the root chakra is the first chakra. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Michelle? You see what I'm saying? The root chakra is the original chakra. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on. I think it's 8 reindeer, which is infinity, boundlessness. And he ride on a sled to go and drop off presents to kids. And these presents are literally the gifts of your primal powers. That's what Satan is. Satan gives you your primal energy, your primal essence. You see what I'm saying? They said Satan is the adversary. But whose adversary? He's adversary to God in the Bible. But we know God in the Bible, or the Hebrew Bible, is Yaldabaoth. So it's the demiurge. So who is the enemy of the demiurge? The psyche. You see what I'm saying? Because the demiurge is the ego. So the enemy of the demiurge is the psyche, which is your true mind, your limbic mind. You see what I'm saying? Your limbic system. Whereas the demiurge is representing your neocortex. You see what I'm saying? And it's going to war. And this adversary, Satan, or Natas, or Iblis, is going to war with it. You see what I'm saying? It's going to war. This neocortex energy is being used by Yaldabaoth to go to war with your limbic system, your God mind, your ancient mind, to keep you locked down. That's what this is. That's what Christ is. See what I'm saying? So that's who God is in the Bible most of the time. He emotional. He tell you to fear him. The Bible is the only place where they tell you to fear God. You see what I'm saying? The Hebrew Bible is the only place where they tell you to fear God. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? They couldn't just say respect God, honor God. Why we gotta fear God? Because God is Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, the celestial ego. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And Satan, his adversary, is the celestial psyche. You see what I'm saying? Which is inside of you. The ego inside of you is your neocortex, and your psyche is your limbic system. Your pineal, your pituitary, your 3 magi, your hypothalamus. You see what I'm saying? There are all other aspects of your limbic system. So that's what you got going on here. That's what you got going on here. So this is what Christmas is, the resurrection and return of the Christos. your enlightened self, your true self. You see what I'm saying? Rising out of the melanated darkness of the winter solstice. That's why doing between the 19th and the 24th, all you want to do is sleep. All you want to do is be in the dream world, in your subconscious and unconscious mind, navigating it, learning from it, and growing from it, where you take the information that you learn, that metaphysical content that you learn, and you transmute it into ascension codes. You see what I'm saying? Ascension codes. Where with these ascension codes, you rise up out of the darkness of your unconscious and subconscious mind. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. That's what's going on. That's what Christmas is. A mass influx of Christ energies, soul energies. You see what I'm saying? Solar energies. And on Earth, planetarily, Christmas is the resurrection of nature. You see what I'm saying? Nature, or Mother Earth, comes out of the darkness of her womb back into her the divine light of her soul. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? What's up, Roxana? What's up, Colleen? What's up, Ice? You see what I'm saying? So she resurrection again, because Capricorn is the goat energy, the Baphomet energy. You see what I'm saying? And the goat energy deals with the resurrection. It sets the foundation for the ascension back into the spring. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Which is the most the rebirth of the planets, the planetary energies. You see what I'm saying? Whereas in winter solstice, that's the darkest. You in the spiritual realm, you in the soul realms of your unconscious, the primal realms of your unconscious and subconscious mind. The darkness, your melanin, dealing with those energies, learning from it, growing from it. You see what I'm saying? And after that, you come up. You ascend up out of that darkness into your soul again. The enlightened one, the unblemished one, the Christos. He or she who has gained the halo. You see what I'm saying? Because holy also means halley. You see what I'm saying? Or hal, which is just short for halo, which is enlightenment. You see what I'm saying? The halo just represents the enlightenment of this field, the mind field around your head. You see what I'm saying? It's light there now. Whereas before you're awoken, it's nothing there. You see what I'm saying? The field is there, but it's not that strong. But after you reopen your crown and awaken it, all this light it erupts into this mind field, and you become enlightened. You see what I'm saying? You become the conscious one, the super conscious one. You see what I'm saying? Who has went through the alchemical process within themselves to become the living, breathing Christos. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The living, breathing Christos, the enlightened one, walking around fully conscious of what's going on in yourself and the world around you. You see what I'm saying? And by extension, the universe at large. So that's what we dealing with when we dealing with this Christmas energy. You see what I'm saying? And I come back with New Year's later. That's another situation altogether. But for the most part, that's what Christmas deals with. The resurrection of the Christos, the enlightened energies. When Mother Earth comes out of her womb, her dark matter, and has learned what she needs to learn for that time period, she resurrects on Christmas. And that's why it's always hot for Christmas. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's why it's always hot for Christmas. 72 degrees. You see what I'm saying? And yesterday it was 30, 40 degrees, but they cannot make it cold during Christmas because that's the resurrection of the solar energies. And usually Christmas lasts from the 25th. That energy lasts from the 25th all the way up to usually the 30th. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? 30th, 31st, you know. Sometimes they do go all the way up to the 1st, which is New Year's, which is a whole different topic of itself. And I'll come back with, oh, Diane, it's 55 degrees in Chicago. So, yeah, that's hot for Chicago. You see what I'm saying? For this time of year. So, this is what you're dealing with. The solar energies resurrected. And if you tap into the resurrection of that solar energies yourself in your meditation during Christmas, so I always take time out to meditate during this Christmas energy. You can absorb some of that energy and make your enlightenment stronger. You see what I'm saying? Make your ascension process more solidified on the physical. You see what I'm saying? So there y'all go. There y'all go. This is what you're dealing with here. That's what Christmas is. Christ Mass. You see what I'm saying? Christ. You see what I'm saying? The enlightened one, the solar ones. You see what I'm saying? The day walkers, the soul walkers, the star walkers, or the rise of Skywalker. Why y'all think they always drop Star Wars before Christmas? Because Star Wars deals with the resurrection of your soul. You see what I'm saying? It's literally the process of you descending into the darkness during the winter solstice, and you rise back up during Christmas, for Christmas. You get back just in time for Christmas. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's what you got going on here. That's what you got. So that being said, that's pretty much what it is. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Transmuting your Krampus. You see what I'm saying? Your Krampus, which is the corrupted childlike innocence that society corrupted, telling you can't do this, traumatizing you, telling you can't do that, telling you this don't exist. That builds up and transmutes into a energetic form inside of you, a mental thought form inside of you, and it's represented by Krampus. And you got to go and deal with that energy. Also, Freddy Krueger in his movies, cause he always coming after the children. And you gotta go transmute Krampus into and deal with, filter out those dark energies, heal them, and deal with your those corruptions. You see what I'm saying? In your mind and in your heart and in your spirit and soul. And then you will, once you heal them and transmute them, you will rise back up and become the Christos. You see what I'm saying? And you will take full advantage of the massive influx of these Christ-like or solar energies or soul energies. So there y'all go. Any questions? Any questions? Colleen, what does the presence represent? Given in mythology, you know, Santa comes and brings you gifts. Santa is Satan, and Satan is an actual alternative form of Krampus. You see what I'm saying? Just a nicer way of saying Krampus. Instead of the horrific image of Krampus, they give you the nice image of Santa. You see what I'm saying? So giving you gifts is dealing with is giving you the gift or opportunity to deal with your blockages, your traumas, so that you can transmute them and rise up and become the Christos. So the present in the present moment right now, you got an opportunity to become the ascended one, the ascended master. That's what the gift is. That's what the present is. See what I'm saying? Colleen, thank you again for always sharing with us. It's always right on time. No problem. Figured I take my crack at what Christmas really is. Give y'all my interpretation of it. Thank you, no problem. No problem. So yeah, that's what the present represents. Giving you the opportunity to heal yourself so you can transmute those energies and become the enlightened one, ascended master. The tree. Yes, the Christmas tree. I'm glad you brought that up. The Christmas tree is the tree of life. Yep. And if you're seeing that tree of life, you return back to aim, which is the star on that tree of life. You see what I'm saying? Your soul, once it reaches the enlightenment of aim, after it passes through Kelta, that's what the star on the tree of life represents. You see what I'm saying? And the little ropes that you put on the tree or whatever, you know, those are your energetic pathways on the tree of life. And the little lights on there are the spheres of consciousness. That's all it represents. Until you make your way up to the Kepta, and you transcend out of Kepta back into Ain, which is the enlightened soul, the sorcerer. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The sorcerer. You see what I'm saying? The ether bender, who has already who has mastered, who has took on the task of traversing the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, and mastered both trees and ascended into Ain or soul. Now they showed you with Kylo Ren in Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. He ascended into Ain. That's why at the end of the movie he died. He did his job. He mastered both trees. So there was no reason for him to stick around anymore. He became an ascended master. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. There you go. That's what the Christmas tree represents. So yeah. Yeah, so all that shit means something. You see what I'm saying? The mistletoe. You know, they say you stand up under the mistletoe and you're supposed to kiss. Well, of course, the mistletoe is Ain. Yep, that's Ain. And you, the feminine, and him, the masculine energy, you know, create this trinity. You see what I'm saying? That's all it represents. So any other questions before I get up out of here? Yes, the ornaments that you put on the tree of life and the lights that you put on there are just the spheres of consciousness on the tree of life. Yeah, on the Kabbalah. That's literally what they represent. They represent consciousness. Because what do lights do? They light up. They bring enlightenment to that particular area. So they represent the consciousness, the different spheres that you're going to pass through on your way up to the top of the tree. Yeah, they tell you what it is. The socks that you hang up on the wall, you know, the socks represent the intelligence of your that's on the soles of your feet, because your feet are souls too, and those souls leak up into the earth where you can draw energy from them. So, also another science. And yeah, I think the only other thing that they really promote is the candy cane, and the candy cane is just your spine. Gingerbread man is you. You see what I'm saying? It's you. You see what I'm saying? That's literally you who has become enlightened through this Christmas energy. So that's all this shit is. It's just pure science. It's just pure metaphysics and occult science. Nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be, run from. Our ancestors picked these days for a reason. It's always, even in every ancient culture, it's always special days that deliver special frequencies, vibrations, energies, and forces and rhythms. And if you take the time out to connect with those energies and forces, you can become stronger and wiser. So there you go. There you go. So any other questions? Right, Colleen. Krampus is just your energy that's been suppressed, corrupted, locked down. It's always a story. It's the classic Set and Heru story. Set is just your energy locked down, frustrated, corrupted. Something happened. Some triggered that corruption. Like in the Set and Osiris story, what? Osiris slept with Nephthys. You see what I'm saying? And had a baby by which became Anubis, which was Anubis. So that triggered the rage and anger of your unconscious primal forces. And that's what got Osiris killed. You see what I'm saying? But Set had to go and put him back together to do what? Have her child by him. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Have her child by him. So that's literally what Osiris represents. He represents the disconnections of your consciousness. Your consciousness broken up into different pieces that you gotta heal and rebuild. That's why we tell you to study everything. So that's what, and Krampus and the Christ are just modern day manifestations of that. Set Heru story. What's up, Dorothy? No, any questions before I get up out of here? Well, all right, y'all. I'm Marvin Jones. Y'all put the word out. Let them know what it is. Check out my other videos on my channel, The Middle Night Order. And I'm out. Peace.